Hello students. Today we will start with colloids around us like fog, mist and rain. These are the colloids air which is present. It contain moisture, dust particles are also there, and the fine droplets are also present. The fine droplets of water, so these form the colloidal solutions in nature. Next is the food articles like milk, butter, cheese, ice creams, all these they form colloid. Next is blood is a colloidal solution. See this blood, it is a colloidal solution. Okay, and it gets coagulated when brought in contact with alum or ferric chloride. When it comes in contact with alum or ferric chloride, it gets coagulated. So if sometimes you have seen, if bleeding is there from any cut, we use alum there, because that blood it get coagulated due to the presence of iron or ferric chloride. Now the fourth one is soil. Fertile soils, these fertile soil, they are colloidal in nature, and due to their colloidal nature, soil is able to absorb moisture and nourishing materials also. Okay, so the humus which is present in it, it acts as a protective colloid we have studied in a previous video. Now blue color of sky, see these are very important and they can be asked in 1 or 2 mark questions. Blue color of sky, this blue color of sky, we know that the sky is an empty space around the earth. It has no color. The blue color, it is due to the scattering of blue light by the, yes, by the colloidal dust particles present in air. Now this I have written in a question form. This is very important. It was asked many times in previous years also. It was asked like what are deltas first thing and how they are formed. See, we have seen uh, when a river it falls into a sea. River it is coming, and when it falls into a sea, see river particles are there and sea particles are there. Two types of different particles are there. Extensive deposits of sand and clay are formed at the mouth of the river. They are in the mouth of the river in the sea. When the river it comes to the sea, there is extensive deposit of sand and clay, and such deposits are called delta. Now, how these deltas are formed? The question is how these deltas are formed. Actually, what happens? The clay and sand particles, these are the colloidal particles. Clay and sand, and these particles are present in river water. These are negatively charged. Okay, when these clay and sand particles, which are colloidal in nature and are negatively charged, they come in contact with the seawater. Seawater it contains positive ions like Na plus, Mg plus 2, etc. These all positive ions are present in it. So when these negatively charged clay and sand particle they come in contact with these positively charged ions, they get coagulated. Coagulation occurs there, and the coagulated sand and clay particle they settle down and they take shape of a delta. Delta it takes shape like this, and here delta is formed, which has, see the river it is coming from here, which is having negatively charged particles, and this is the sea water which is having positively charged particle. So here delta is formed. It is triangular in shape. Okay, now applications of colloid, if you want to write in your notebook then only you write, otherwise I am explaining this portion to you from book itself. Otherwise or you can study it from book only. Like see application, first application, foodstuffs and medicines. Like colloids, they are used for making many foodstuffs. Milk is also an emulsion. See the butter and fat which is present in it, it is present in water, so it is also a colloid. Now purification of water. Purification of water actually, see what happens. The impure water, it usually dispersed, it contained colloidal particles in it, and these colloidal particles cannot be purified by using the process of filtration. So what we can do, we can add potash alum to it. If we will add potash alum, it will contain Al3 plus. Okay, potassium K2SO4 dot Al2SO4 whole thrice. So it is containing aluminium particles, aluminium ions there. So potassium alum, when it is added to impure water, it contains negatively charged colloidal particles. The impurities which are present in it, these impurities are negatively charged. And when alum is added to it, it contains positively charged particle. When we will add alum, they will coagulate each other, they will neutralize each other, and the particles, negatively charged colloidal particle or impurities, they will get coagulated. After that, we can separate it by the use of the process of filtration or decantation. So this is how we can purify water. In sewage disposal also, this is very important. Like electrophoresis process we studied in our previous video. In electrophoresis, actually what happens, like when the sewage, it is passed through tunnels, there the metallic electrodes are there. So and there is very high potential difference when these colloidal particles, the they pass through this metallic electrodes. The oppositely charged, the colloidal particle present in the sewage water, they migrate to the oppositely charged electrodes and get coagulated. When they get coagulated, whatever the rubbish matter we obtain there, it is used as a manure. That coagulated matter, dirt particle or the dust and the whatever the rubbish is there in the sewage. Now smoke precipitation. See, in smoke precipitation also we can use this process of electrophoresis. Smoke is a colloidal system, and it consists of electrically charged colloidal particles of carbon particles which are dispersed in air. So smoke, it is allowed to pass through this chamber. From here, its smoke moves. When the particles of carbon, it comes in contact with the oppositely charged electrode, they get coagulated and they are collected here, precipitated. Carbon particles or dust particle, they get coagulated here, and the free dust, free gas, it comes out from here. So here, what is written: the clean hot air leaves the precipitator and exit near the top, and the dust particle, coagulated dust particle, they fall here at the bottom. Artificial rain also. See, clouds are the colloidal systems, and they consist of water vapor along with the dust particle. The water molecule which are present, they are having some charge in them, and if we'll spray oppositely charged colloidal dust or sand over a cloud, see, some charge is present in the cloud, and if we'll spray some oppositely charged colloidal dust or any sand particle to it, they will get neutralized and they will get coagulated, and the water, it will come down as rain. It is also used in rubber industry, for leather tanning also, cleansing of soap, mycelial formation also we have studied. In smoke screens also it is used, and this preparation of nanomaterials, building roads, like you must have seen, um, actually, as emulsifiers are added in water, and this is how we can make roads and all. And now we will study emulsions. See, emulsions, if we talk about emulsions, are the colloidal dispersion of two immiscible liquids. Here, two immiscible liquids are present, in which one of the liquid, out of the two, one will act as a dispersion medium and the other, it acts as a dispersed phase. Okay. There are two types of emulsions: oil in water or water in oil. Oil in water means oil is the dispersed phase and water is the dispersion medium, like milk. If we talk about water in oil, water will be the dispersed phase and oil will be the dispersion medium. Okay. Emulsification, when these two immiscible liquids, these two liquids are vigorously mixed, using a high speed mixing machine or ultrasonic vibrators to form emulsions. Since these are immiscible and we have to form an emulsion, so for that these two immiscible liquids are mixed at high speed, and emulsifying agents along here. Emulsions are completely immiscible, so a stabilizing substance is required to maintain them in the colloidal state. And such substances are called emulsifying agents or emulsifiers also. Okay, so to maintain or to um, make the emulsions in their that form only, emulsifying agents are used. Now, next one is this identification of emulsion type. How can we identify whether the emulsion is of water in oil or oil in water? So see, if we'll add water to the emulsion, if water mixes with the emulsion, it means the emulsion is of oil in water type. But if water does not mixes, it means water in oil type. Next is the conductivity test. A small amount of electrolyte is added, and if the conductance, upon adding electrolyte, if the conductance of the emulsion it increases, if the conductance is increasing, it means the emulsion is of oil in water is there, and upon adding electrolyte the conductance will increase. And if there is no appreciable changes shown there in the conductance, it means it is water in oil type. Third one is dye test. A small amount of oil soluble dye is added. If we'll add oil soluble dye, if emulsion become colored, if emulsion is becoming colored on adding oil soluble dye, it is of water in oil type, and if there is no change, then it is oil in water type. So this is how we can differentiate the type of emulsion, whether it is of oil in water or water in oil type. Now, properties of emulsions. All the properties, Brownian motion, whether we talk about Tyndall effect, electrophoresis, coagulation, all the properties are shown by emulsions also. Now, demulsification. Demulsification, it is a process of breaking the emulsions to yield the constituent particle. It is a process in which emulsions are broken down, or again they are dispersed into their two immiscible liquids. Okay, so emulsions, when they can be broken into their constituent liquids by the physical method, like by heating, by freezing, by centrifuge, by the process of centrifugation. So what happens here? The um, two miscible liquids, they again get separated. Okay, so this is the process of demulsification. And the last one is the application of emulsions. They can be used for making lotions, creams, and ointments. They are also their emulsifying properties of soaps and detergents. They are used in washing. They are also used in the process of froth flotation that we will study in the next chapter also. They are actually the pulverized ore. It is mixed with oil emulsions that we'll study later. And it also helps in the digestion of fat in intestine, where it forms sodium soap, and it makes the digestion of fat easy. So this was all about the chapter 5, that is surface chemistry, and by tomorrow we will start with the next chapter, chapter 6. Thank you.